What's up, guys? Today is going to be a little bit of office talk, but we're going to be talking about trucks, and it's going to be about gliders. But before we get into it, make sure you hit the subscribe button to make sure you are able to watch all my upcoming videos. What inspired me to make this video is because I've seen so many posts of gliders for sale, and people in the comments below are harassing the guy because he's asking way too much for his truck. Well, is he asking too much for the truck? And that's what I want to help you out with today. First off is, what is a glider? A glider is basically a truck without an engine and transmission. When I bought that Peterbilt, I don't know if you've seen that video, that truck, no engine, no transmission. There was obviously some other chrome accessories and stuff like that that we had to put on there as well, but that's the two key components that are missing. No engine, no transmission. It's called a rolling glider, and it gives you the choice of putting in your own engine. What started it is some of these fleets had older trucks with good engines, or the engine just got rebuilt. They would put that engine into this new truck and away they go. The price when you go to buy a glider, especially here in recent years, the prices of gliders have gone up. Before, I remember pricing out a glider and you could get the cab chassis, the rolling glider for around $80,000. And now that last Peterbilt glider that we got was $132,000, basically because of demand. Now, till we get our engine and transmission in there, a rebuilt cat, you're looking at around $200,000, and that's what we got into that truck. Our Kenworth W900, the emission truck that we got, that truck cost us $165,000. So you look at that price difference, is it worth it for us as a company to pay that for that truck? First off is fuel economy. The Peterbilt with the cat motor gets 5.22 miles a gallon. That's for the month average of July and August. The Kenworth in the same time period gets 4.79 miles a gallon. And then, I have to add in DEF. So that's a cost that the emission truck has over the older glider. I understand gear ratios and things like that make a difference. And could I have spec'd out the Cummins a little bit better? I think so. You live and learn, right? The Cummins has a 373, and I really think it should have been a 355 or a 336 ratio, whereas the Peterbilt is a 336 ratio. So next off is the price difference, and where that price difference comes into effect is when I own that Peterbilt for 5 years. At 5 years, I feel that thing's just getting broke in. And when I own that Kenworth, the same way. At 5 years, it's just getting broke in. The thing that is failing me on the Kenworth, on the glider, the thing that is failing me on the emission truck is the emission system and the motor. Unfortunately, Cummins and the emission systems, they are the biggest headache. And now I want to have warranty as long as I own the truck. And when I go to sell that truck or trade that truck in, that truck is going to be worth about half of what I paid for it. I can keep that truck for 1 million miles and I can delete it, but number one, that's not legal. And I really don't want to go down that road, especially us, the size that we are. I don't want to go down that road. So my option is to either trade it in or, take the risk of running it. But unfortunately, I have had too many bad experiences with that. You basically end up replacing your engine, your emission systems, and it's, you get a lot of money wrapped up into that, and you're doing it every several 100,000 miles. And as these systems get older, there's more issues. We're up here in New York, so we get lots of nasty stuff gets spread on the roads, gets sprayed on the roads, and stuff corrodes. So it's only asking for problems. And I really don't want to go down that road. We've already had some emission trucks and we've had so many issues with them. So these three last ones that I got, they weren't as bad, but still. So when I trade that truck in, I lose $80,000. When in 5 years, the glider truck is still, like I said, just kind of getting broke in. and I'm going to keep that truck around for $1.5 million or 2 million miles, or maybe even more. Whereas $80,000 every 5 years, and you start doing the math on that, and soon you realize that, hey, you know what, a glider is actually worth it, especially if you don't need the depreciation. That's why guys are asking more money for their truck. And in the recent years, like I said, the prices have gone up quite a bit on gliders. So basically they have about $200,000 at least into putting their glider together. The other thing is downtime, and this can put a company out of business. Are you willing to let that truck sit in the shop for a month? Are you willing to let that truck sit in the shop or go down, every couple of weeks or whatever? The emission motors are known to have a lot of issues, and that can put you out of business, especially if you only have one truck. For us, we have multiple trucks. I can, put that guy in a different truck, and it's not as big of a deal with that truck sitting in the shop. But for some of you guys, it could very well put you out of business. And that's why owner-operators especially are wanting to have pre-emission trucks. The other thing is, in our fleet, we have a lot of walk-in floors, dump trailers, belt trailers, and that's the primary work of what we do. So when you are unloading them, you have to have a PTO, or what we call wet line, which runs off the transmission, which runs off the engine. So your engine has to be idling a little bit higher, usually, depending on what trailer you're pulling, and to be able to walk the load off, or to be able to, dump that load off. And that requires idling. Some of these loads take, minimum 10, 15 minutes to unload, up to 20 minutes, 40 minutes to an hour, depending if we're dumping into a hopper and it takes time to get that grain or whatever we're dumping in there away. So these trucks are idling quite a bit, and that's when you start having more and more emission troubles, is when they're idling. In our fleet, in what we do, I'm willing to pay more for a glider than for a regular emission truck. And I hope this video helps you guys understand that. If you're just running from Boston to San Diego, or East Coast to West Coast, and you have opportunity to get a rental truck when you have a breakdown, things like that, and you're just pulling a van trailer or a flatbed, go for it. But in our fleet, we have overweight permits, we have wet lines that we have on our trucks, and so for me to just go out and rent a truck, it's kind of hard. We don't have the freedom to do that. Sometimes we can, get some flatbed loads or things like that that we don't need overweight permits for, but most of our freight, 90% of what we do, we're using overweight permits, or we're using our wet line. That makes it really tricky for us to be able to just go out and get another truck. I have plenty of spare trucks. I have, extra trucks in our fleet that we use, so when our trucks are in for service, or when something goes down, we can bring a truck in, or we can, we have a spare truck. In our operation, it definitely makes sense for us to have pre-emission trucks. Unfortunately, I can't have all our trucks pre-emission. I want to keep some of the emission trucks in. Hopefully I think they'll get better, in time. I just, it's a struggle for me, and it's kind of a big frustration period because of all the issues that we've had. I hate to go out and spend the money for more of this junk that we have to trade in. And like I said, the truck part of it is fine. The truck part is made and built for 1.5 million miles, but unfortunately, 400,000 or 500,000 miles is all that emission system is made for, and you got to get rid of them. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm eager to hear what you guys have to say in response to this video. Hopefully this helps you understand why, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Peace out.